Hey everybody, what's going on? So I made a video not too long ago about dual PC streaming with the Wave XLR and an alternative audio setup without using a capture card. From that video, I got a request to share my current setup with a dual setup with multiple consoles. So today we're going to go over that. I know there's plenty of videos out there on how to capture a console and stuff. I don't know if there may be a few out there like this, but I figured I'd go over the devices I use for that. I do have a Series X, a PS5, a Nintendo Switch. Other retro consoles, like I have a PS3. I have a retro system that'll play Sega Genesis games, Nintendo and Super Nintendo, as well as one of the At Games gaming pucks that have that as well. So you use a variety of things, and this includes my PC as well. So basically, the main thing you need, and this will work on a single PC or a dual PC setup. There's going to be two HDMI switch boxes I recommend. And basically, how you're going to set it up, there's going to be an output on the HDMI switch box. And you can get these on Amazon. I'll have links in the description below. I have a 5-port one. You can go with a 3-port one, but I use a 5-port. So the first one I got was Canivio, I think is how you say it. It's a 4K60 one. So it does do HDMI 2.0, and both of these I'm going to recommend are HDMI 2.0 because the 2.1 stuff is just barely getting out there. They're a little bit more expensive, but I tried a cheaper version before, and I found these work much better with the newer consoles. If you have an older console, it may work fine. But again, I'm putting my PC in the mix. So on the output of the HDMI switch box, you're going to run that HDMI cable to the input of your capture card. And then from your capture card, you're going to run that output if you're using dual monitors to the HDMI input of the monitor you want to play your console games on. So your one monitor will be like for your stream, the other monitor will be for your console, or if you just are going to run it on one monitor, you can do it that way. It's up to you. Then each HDMI input on the switch box is going to be for your various consoles. So, for example, if you had an Xbox and a PlayStation, you'd put one HDMI in and another in the other one. And then most of these come with a little remote. Some of them sense when you turn on a system and automatically switch to the port, but you just pick the port you want that's active, and that's what's going to show on your OBS stream through your capture card. All the audio and everything does go through the HDMI, just like you would on a TV. But if you decide later on that you want to capture audio separately, you can do that. And I'm going to talk about that as well. You will need an audio mixer set up to do that. But here is the first one I got. Let me bring it up here for you guys. Give me one moment here. So this here is the uh, first first decent HDMI switch box I got. You can see here that it's got several ports here, and there's one on the side too, actually. So you can see all the ports there. So this has a total of 5 inputs and 1 output. And then there's the front there. You can see where it's got, you can change it manually if you want. So there's a little switch that you just keep pressing switch and it'll change what input you're on. And that'll get you your setup. Now, when I do the PC one, I switch it over to that one. I choose to extend the displays. Some people will tell you to duplicate displays. I extend my displays. And then if you're in a dual PC setup, all you have to do is an OBS, run OBS on your gaming computer, right? And then capture either the game capture for the window or display capture, either one. And then when you have that open on your gaming computer, you're going to right click on that source, go to full screen projection source, and then select your capture card from the selection. So, for example, I have a HD60X Elgato. And then if I'm playing, say, Fortnite on my gaming PC and I want to stream that, I again right click on game capture. I go to full screen projection, and then I choose the Elgato HD60X, that'll then put it out to my stream PC. So this one worked great for me. The only issue I ran into, I was using a Go XLR Mini audio mixer. The problem is with that, I couldn't separate my audio volume. Well, I couldn't control my audio for my games console unless I went to OBS and moved the slider up and down. Yes, not a big deal, but if you're gaming on one monitor and watching a stream on the other, then you have to flip into OBS. So the way around that is to actually use something else. And that something else is a HDMI switch box with a audio extractor. And what the audio extractor does is it gives you the ability to extract audio from the HDMI signal, put it into an optical out into your mixer. Now, the Wave XLR doesn't have an optical port, so therefore this method wouldn't work. Now, I will tell you some of the retro things, it doesn't work the best. Now, PlayStation 3, I didn't have any problems, but when I tried with the At Games Puck, I got a lot of audio distortion through the optical port, so I had to remove that. Now, I haven't, on this one, I have not tried the aux out. I don't know how that would work. I'm assuming you could, plug in an auxiliary audio cable into that and then do the same thing and run it into a port on your audio mixer, like your line in. But that would then possibly cause issues if you're trying to run a line in from your PC or something. Again, this is only if you're going to use an audio extractor. Now, I don't use this anymore, but this is still a really good switch. It's a little bit cheaper than the other one. It even has a 10% off coupon here. And like I said, I'll have these linked down below. So this is the current one I use. And as you can see, all your ports are on the back side of this. So your out and your 5 inputs are there. And you can have the lights here. Now, this one specifically does support Dolby Vision. I'm sorry, Dolby Atmos. Yeah, Dolby Vision. I believe, I want to say it tries to do VRR, but it doesn't do it great, so I wouldn't recommend using that for this. But this is a current one I have. And again, it's a decent one. Even if you're not going to do the audio extraction, it still works really, really well. It comes with this little remote. And what I do is I have mine Velcroed against my mic boom arm on the bottom there on the clamp, pointing directly at my HDMI switch box so I can easily switch between the ones I have. So again, like I said, the simplest way to do multiple consoles, just get the one, where you need multiple ones, because my thought is the more you unplug HDMI cables and plug them in and out of ports, switching back and forth, I mean, it's going to put some wear on the ports, obviously. I don't know of any cases where it actually hurt anything, but me personally, I would rather, uh, you know, um, have something where it's plugged in all the time. I'm not constantly unplugging and plugging back in. Now, the other thing I'd recommend is get yourself an HDMI 2.1 cable, even though I know that these don't do 2.1. But with that being said, I would still get those because I find that those have better signal capability, compatibility, and just are better quality overall typically. And that's what I run on all my consoles anyways. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have anything that you'd like me to go over more on my setup for multiple consoles, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe and ring the notification bell for when I post new content. I mostly do shorts and stuff, but I am starting to put more streaming related items up on there. So if you guys find that you would like me to go ahead and um, address any other questions you might have, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to go over any other streaming setup stuff I can, OBS settings if I can, just general things like that. But I hope you guys find this information useful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.